We're going to build the best football team in the SEC Conference. We're going to build the best football program in the SEC Conference.
You have now arrived at Stadium in Gale.
The kick, it's been blocked again! How about it? It's been blocked again! It's going to heat one deep down the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone! It's a touchdown! And the Gators have won the game! Tyreek Cleveland! How about it? I can't believe what I just saw! Dropping back to throw. Pops and fires the ball over the middle. It's Dory! It's Dory! Got a touchdown! Dory got a touchdown! Oh, man! Dory's got a touchdown!
Ahmad Black, in his final game as a Gator, takes it all the way home and sends Urban out the winner.
You have now arrived at Stadium in Gale.
Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Stadium Miguel. It's your favorite Uncle Silk.
It's Dan.
And Tori.
Same corner, same time, new vibrations, new coach. Who this? How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Had myself a weekend. What an enjoyable weekend. Lots of music. I got to hang out. Some beautiful weather here in Tampa.
Georgia lost.
Georgia lost. Always a good day when Georgia loses.
Man, that's a highlight of my weekend.
How was your weekend, buddy?
Busy.
Yeah.
Weekend was busy. Covered a basketball game. Florida is 0-1 since I began covering them, and I think are they losing right now?
They were about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, so maybe I need to stop covering basketball. We launched a new site last week, so that's been busy.
Nice.
And Billy Napier's press conference Sunday, and then a lot of coaching moves.
Yeah. A lot of coach move, a lot of.
We'll get into that. Yes, the Gators are currently losing by 13 to the Texas Southern Tigers, who are currently 0-7.
Whoa.
They're really
Hold
turning
your
the ship
horses,
around.
Mike Whitehive.
Let's pull back the reins there. Let's calm down.
Who, me?
Yeah, we are deep into the
Down 15.
About 14 minutes left.
A lot of time left. Don't call it a comeback.
I certainly won't call it a comeback. So, how was your weekend?
My weekend was cool, man. Hung out quite a bit, just a whole lot of relaxation, football. Felt good to have anxiety-free weekend of not stressing Todd Grantham or Dan Mullen. So just got to kick it. Watch Georgia lose. We kicked off a live screen Saturday night with the network. Hung out with that. If you haven't checked that out, go to Roll Up Network and check that out. And then Sunday, man, just kind of vibed around the crib, put together some fire pits, hoping the weather dropped, but it didn't. And watch Billy Napier's press conference, man. Not a bad weekend.
Were you guys surprised? Now, I thought Alabama could win, but were you surprised the way that they won, dropping 42?
I was a little surprised because they didn't do very well the last month of the year, right? I think that they had 3 or 4 wins by combined at 16, 17 points. So it's not like they're blowing the doors off their opponents. I did, think that if anybody could beat Georgia, it would be Alabama. And, I think that Bryce Young is really good. I think that they've got obviously a great talented roster, and they seem to put it all together at the right time. I was surprised how many points they put up against Georgia, because even though, the Georgia defense was highly touted, there were certainly some holes that, Alabama exposed, but I definitely didn't think there'd be that many.
Yeah, I think I kind of seen that coming, because I just think Alabama plays stiffer competition on the West. I've been saying on the roll up that I didn't think Georgia faced any type of quarterback that they was going to face when they faced Bryce, and it showed up early and often. The secondary was just not prepared to play to be pressed that hard for 4 quarters. So it's just a different brand of football, and I also think Georgia's going to have some problems with Michigan.
Ooh.
Who's also played stiffer competition and more battle tested than Georgia. The East is down, my guy. They went through.
It's not Jim McElwain's East, though, is it?
She might be worse with a checked out Dan Mullen. Like, who's the second best team in the East?
Bro, I don't know. I think Florida finished 13th in the SEC.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the East is down. We thought Kentucky was gonna be okay. They wasn't. Who else was good? Tennessee's trying to figure out who they are, but they wasn't anybody to face. It's a down East.
Yeah, I think this was about as down as the East has been. I mean, like you said, Silk, Kentucky was down, Florida was down. Tennessee at one point kind of put it together and they kind of fell apart. South Carolina didn't look very good. Vanderbilt's obviously terrible. Missouri didn't look good. So this is probably about as bad as the East has been in, a couple years at least.
Yeah, so the greatest defense ever just was playing. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad. They're still a good defense. Right. But do you seem to be like they wasn't dominating? They didn't get a sack.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think just in general, I mean, even if they weren't like the 85 Bears, like I think you tweeted about, the fact that they only allowed less than a touchdown a game, no matter who you're playing, is still pretty impressive, feat. But, Alabama was obviously able to score, and I think that they probably could have scored more, if they truly wanted to. I think that Alabama's got to be, obviously they're the number one team in the country right now, but I think that they've got to be, again, the odds-on favorite to win the national championship, which anything you could do to pull the rug out from Georgia, I'll gladly root for.
We've probably known all year. So, what Stetson Bennett wasn't the reason Georgia lost, but once they got behind, he was going to be the reason that the game was over. Like, he's not going to be able to lead you back, especially against a team as good as Alabama. But I just don't think anyone's gotten the opportunity to force Georgia into that. Force them, force Stetson Bennett to lead a comeback and to win a game with his arms.
Are you guys surprised they haven't gone back to JT Daniel or?
I mean, that's tough.
I don't think Stetson's playing bad football. I just think there's levels to it. Like Bryce is
he's just fine.
Bryce is hooping out there a little bit. The plays he making, even when he got stripped and he hasn't been running the ball all year, now he's breaking the pocket and causing havoc with that stuff. Bryce is just playing on a different level. I don't think Stetson's playing bad. It's just levels to it. JT ain't gonna be able to do anything different. And Bama defense looked different this past week than it has looked all fall. Secondary looked on point. They looked physical. They got several sacks on Georgia. They looked like they had the better defense in that game, surprisingly.
Yeah, no, I was very surprised by the outcome of the game being what it was. Like I said, I wasn't surprised totally that Alabama won, but I was definitely surprised
in the manner
the manner in which they won for
sure. Right.
Any other games stick out to you for this weekend? I mean, I thought that Michigan win over Iowa was very impressive.
Nick Saban has now won 34 consecutive games against the SEC East. The Spur Dog in 2010 is the last SEC East team to beat Nick Saban's Alabama.
Yeah, Stadium and Gale alum Steven Garcia was the last quarterback to pull off that win. And that was a pretty decisive victory, too, if I remember correctly. But, yeah, that's an incredible number of wins in a row. I mean, I can obviously I don't have the stat pulled up, but there's probably not many teams that have ever done that on a cross, divisional manner that the way Alabama's done recently. It's just absolutely incredible to build it for that long and not to slip up even one time.
Right.
The GOAT.
So let's do a Brunt ad read, and then let's get into talking about our new head coach.
Stadium Miguel is brought to you by the great folks at Brunt Insurance and Financial Services. Anything you need insured from the Panhandle to the Keys, be sure to visit bruntinsurance.com or give them a call at 954-589-2204. Home, auto, life insurance, motorcycle insurance, renter's insurance, anything you may need insured, my man Greg got you. Bruntinsurance.com. Big coverage, big policies.
I love it, man. Well,
let it do, baby.
Yeah, let it do, baby. So Florida announced Billy Napier as the head coach on yesterday, December 5th, after he brought his University of Louisiana Lafayette, Ragin' Cajuns, a Sun Belt Conference championship on Saturday evening. Billy Napier arrived in Gainesville, met with the media, and then met with the coaching staff and the support staff on Sunday and today, Monday. So, Nick, before we get into the press conference, before we get into the way that went down, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it, talk to us a little bit about what you've heard about the staff that's coming over and joining Billy Napier, or that will be departing from Gainesville.
Well, let's start with the staff in Gainesville. I've been working on this since 10 o'clock today. No positional coach is being retained. C-Rob, Knox, Brewster walked in. He's like, if you coached at Florida last year, you're out of here. They will all, I believe, and I've been told, they will all coach the bowl game. And then after that, they're done. Shane Graham was asked to be retained. He is an off the field coach. Special teams, works with the kickers. He kicked 15 years in the NFL. The kickers love him, and I believe that some of the creative people, I believe some of the GAs and stuff will also stay. Vernell Brown is staying. Sharif Floyd was asked to stay. But now,
Nick? What is Sharif Floyd's actual job? Is he an undergrad assistant or?
Yes, yeah, okay. He's working on. He obviously he didn't come back. You got that first round money, and it's really unfortunate what's happened to him with injuries, which ended his career far too soon. So he gets back at Florida. Credit to Dan Mullen on that. And what an invaluable resource for a guy like Gervon Dexter. Zach Carter, I know Antonio Valentino spoke so highly of him, but he's getting his undergrad degree, so he can be. I would assume he's staying because hey, you came back to get your degree. You're not going to try to transfer to somewhere else and finish it there.
Yeah, and I mean, how many opportunities do you have for an undergrad assistant to be a former NFL player?
I would say few.
Yeah. All right, so,
but I wonder about guys like Kewan Ratliff. Like that can be such a valuable resource for you in terms of recruiting. He can't recruit off the field, and I don't know that Kewan wants to be an on the field coach. But when you get a kid on campus, that's an invaluable resource. Like, hey, this guy's picture is all over the place. He's got a brick. So someone like Kewan, I know that he met with Napier once. I think he had a little uneasy feeling, and they were going to be meeting again. But that's someone I would keep around too. I think you respect the history,
right?
At a place like Florida, and I think Billy Napier does. You got an All-American at your disposal, who has relationships with a lot of these kids, both on the team and recruits.
Yeah, and players too. And this isn't me, caping for Kewan Ratliff. I mean, he's a good friend, a really good buddy. I don't know what his skill set is that he brings to the table or doesn't. So I can't talk about anything other than just him as a person and him as a connection, back to the university, back to the alumni, back to just the relationship between a guy that was here during Florida's heyday. How much does it really cost to keep a guy like that around? I think that keeping Kewan, is definitely a guy that, I would certainly advocate for.
Yeah, no doubt. Anybody that put a lid on and equipped and shed blood for us, I think always gets a look. I like that he kept Vernell. But I had that opinion on the timeline, just speaking on Twitter and on social media, that I thought he should clean house. Just no old vibes. I didn't want anybody personally to lose a job. It's nothing personal. But you just got to clean out the mojo. I want a guy to come in and boss up and bring in his own team, fresh new culture, no leftover or lingering vibes. And so I think that's a good move. Just watching all the moves he's making, I think that's a very good move up front. Are we talking about the vibes of the presser right now, or are we just talking about that?
Not yet. So I want to talk just about him coming.
I mean, none of these. Corey Bender and I have been working on this. I got confirmation that everyone was gone at 10:30, and then we had to kind of individually confirm them, and it's been an all day thing. But I think the only one that might have been surprising would be maybe C-Rob, because he's under contract till 2023. Maybe Crime. He's been well respected everywhere he goes. And then Turner. Those are the three that I thought. I never thought Brewster was staying, even though a lot of people did. Billy Gonzalez done a good job developing talent and getting some talent here, but that's Dan's guy. You got to go. So the only three I thought really that had a chance to stay would be Turner, Crime, and C-Rob. So I guess I wouldn't call it surprise, but I thought, those guys might get a shot.
Yeah, no, those were
right. But I
definitely
get it, man. I get it, man. Hey, y'all got the last coach fired, and you're not going to do it to me.
Yeah,
Coach that bowl game and get out.
They say he showed up to the interview with his own, like, with a plan, a staff who he thought he was bringing. So I think he had guys that he was going to roll with when he got his dream job. Like, these guys have that kind of planned out of, hey, when I get that offer, or who's my guys I call. And so he got his own crew. I like that. I don't think we need any leftover vibes. If there may be some people in the secondary staff, off the field staff, that he may keep and see valuable, like Keywan, and he kept Vernell. Vernell does more administrative type vibes than anything, but I like the move. Just clean house, fresh start.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So curious to see how everything shapes up. But with that, Nick, there was 4 announcements today. To join the staff, and we'll go in the order of which you wrote about them on your new website, Gators Online, which is part of the On3 network. I know you pumped your tires a little bit at the beginning, but go check Nick out on on3.com and with Gators Online. So we'll start with Patrick Toney. He's coming over as the co-defensive coordinator, and he's also going to coach safeties. 31 years old, definitely considered a rising star in the sports and in the assistant coaching world. Has spent the last 4 years at the University of Louisiana with Billy Napier as defensive coordinator the last 2 seasons, and then coached safeties 2 seasons before that, and recently also coached outside linebackers. Let's see. They finished first in the conference in scoring defense this year and tied for 9th nationally while ranking 4th in pass defense. So, Nick, tell us a little bit about Patrick Toney and about his role with the Gators and what you know about him.
Yeah, interesting. So young, 31 years old, younger than everyone on the podcast. Richer now, I'm sure, as the co-DC at Florida than everyone on the podcast as well. Really interesting because he was given an offer from sources. Sources told me that Texas Tech offered him their defensive coordinator job. And I thought, before it was announced he was going to be co-DC, I thought all along, hey, Florida's going to go after Belk or I'm blanking on Oklahoma State.
Jim
Knowles. And I was like, and I don't know if you're not going to get Jim Knowles to come and be a co-DC with some 31-year-old kid, There's some egos to coaching. So I thought, okay, well, will he turn down at 31 the chance to call plays? This is my defense. So him coming over and being the safeties coach as well. He's a guy that, as close to like a right-hand man to Billy Napier as you can get. So I thought Billy would do whatever he could to get him to Gainesville and co-DC is, the spot. I was a little surprised to see that he'll also be coaching safeties. I think that's not a good sign if you're in the Belk to Gainesville camp. That's also the position that Doug Belk coaches at Houston. Belk has coached cornerbacks, but that's where he's been. He has coached corner. Yeah. He has coached corners, but he's been coaching safeties. And I was a little bit surprised as well because, I'm jumping back because PT has coached outside linebackers the last 2 years, but he was a safeties coach the first 2 years.
Yeah, interesting. He's an up and coming. Do you know why he's considered such a popular name? Earlier about the
he's done a really good job. Man, is that cracking?
You're lagging.
Yeah.
Man.
The hamster's tired, Dan. Go give him some water. He's done a really good job. I didn't put everything in the bio because the story was getting a little bit long, but he's been a special teams coordinator for Billy. He's been a defensive coordinator at some smaller schools along the way. I think he's just thought to be a really progressive defensive mind. He's a really good recruiter.
How old is he?
31.
Man, these young gunners, man. These boys young, man.
I think his special teams led, I forget what conference it was. One of his special teams led the conference in like blocked kicks. Just an aggressive coach.
If this staff hits, like it could be special because they young boys, man. Like this is a young staff. I wouldn't mind seeing Jim Knowles, the older guy, with a younger co-OC. But like you said, there's probably a lot of ego involved. If it's not Belk, who do you guys think is that other co-DC role?
I really don't know. For so long, and here's the other thing:
Tosh Laporte name come up.
Yeah, so Tosh is interesting because two things. First, Tosh left college when he did, because he had to leave college when he did. With NCAA sniffing around, I think everyone that listens to our podcast knows the kind of recruiter that Tosh is and how he gets things done. Was a great recruiter at Alabama, got a bunch of kids, and I think the NCAA was starting to sniff around to see how is he getting all these commitments, and he left, I think, before anything happened.
NCAA is not sniffing around Bama.
Let's just say I was told by somebody at Alabama, Tosh left college when he did because he had to. The thing I think with Tosh is I don't know that Tosh is coming back unless he's calling the defense. And now it would make sense. He's a defensive line guy. David Turner's not coming back. You can bring Tosh in, and then you've got two young co-defensive coordinators. Let them bounce stuff off off of each other, and then he can coach the defensive line. So I think that would make sense. It ain't sweet in Jacksonville anymore. I don't know if there was a honeymoon, but if there was a honeymoon period,
no, ain't no, like he showed up like messing shit up like out the gate, like he ruined the honeymoon, man.
Bro, that's like you ruined the honeymoon, like waiting to get on the plane to go to the honeymoon destination. Like you were fighting on the plane on the way to the honeymoon.
No doubt, but I think that would be an interesting job for Tosh.
Does Tosh? So all these coaches have to be vetted, and I guess this will be interesting. How committed is Florida? Florida does not like being on probation. Never wanted to be on probation. I think it was whoever Galen Hall was right before Charlie Pell. I think just getting off probation, just getting off a coach with a show cause. If what I'm telling you about Tosh at Bama is true, does he pass the UF sniff test? Does he pass the UF vetting process? Or do they say, listen, Billy, build your staff, do what you want to do?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think that there's probably some leeway, but I don't think that they can just give him a blank check to do that. And I don't mean a blank check money wise, but I just mean a blank check. And I don't think that UF has wanted scandal sniffing around the school.
Billy Napier is like, hey, can we get – I got this guy. He used to be the recruiting coordinator at SMU.
Scandals bring
back in the 80s.
I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that it
can't find a natty without a scandal, bro. I'm just playing.
You're not playing. I mean, you're right? So you always have to teeter that line. I think that's one interesting thing. I am curious to see, and we'll talk a little bit about this when we get to press conference. He has a ton of money to hire coaches. I would imagine. Patrick Toney is not going to be super expensive. Jabbar Jalouk, who we'll talk about here in a second.
I like that hire.
I do too, and I really want to talk about him. But I don't think either one of those are going to be super expensive. You pay Patrick Toney what, 500, 600,000, which is funny to say, is just not a lot of money. You pay him 500-600. You pay Luke, something similar. That leaves you with 8 coaches and $6.5 million to spend, right? There's nice jumps up, right? I mean, it happened with C-Rob when he went from being a GA to being a $80,000 linebacker coach. I would imagine that, Toney will get paid well, but, certainly not Todd Grantham, defense money. And I think Joe Luke will probably get the same as Knox got paid, right? Maybe a little bit less. So that leaves you a lot of money to go after, some bigger names, some splashier names. Be curious to see how the rest of this staff, shakes out.
$7.5 million to fill out your coaching staff, and another $5 million for various other staffers. And if you go through like UL's staff page, they've got all kinds of titles. They just got people doing any and all things that you can think of. Like when he said Army, I went on their page and I'm like, oh, he meant like he has a small country's Army doing like recruiting and graphics, and they have like a head of like video logistics. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, what positions I need, Nick?
Silk's with it. Silk's like, yo, I need a head of bringing Kleenex to whoever is sniffling in the office. Whoever that is, give him $25,000 a year and make sure the Kleenex is stocked. I
mean, you just gotta have, and these guys are young, so they get the technology. They I like how young they are, bro. I just hope they get the infrastructure and nail it. They say he's a very meticulous guy, but I like how young they are because they get this new shit.
Yeah, and I'm told up to 29 new people, positions. I need to get clarity on that, but like a lot of people coming in, and Florida, I think some of them, will be starting to trickle in. I do think that some people were mad at this. I listened to Napier's press conference after the Sun Belt game, and then I asked him about it again.
Did you watch the game?
Yes. Yeah. I was flipping back and forth between that and the SEC championship, and then
I had to get out of there, man. I was trying to watch it. It was
no, you were talking football.
Sun Belt is not my vibes, dog. I had to get out of there.
You mean the Fun Belt? Come on.
No, I'm not going.
So he doesn't want to leave Louisiana high and dry. So he's not taking everyone with him. And when I say that, people are like, he better not bring his whole staff from the Sun Belt to the SEC. I'm like, it's more support staff and GAs. I mean, they got a GA who won 3 national championships at Alabama. Bring him over. let him chill.
I'm fine with, like I said, I'm fine with a young, like he got all those staffers, and they recruit well in the Sun Belt, and they're doing stuff that we're not doing clearly in the recruiting department. So like bring them off the fielders over here. Yeah, like do his thing. I'm not mad at any of those hires. And people are like judging those hires, like he's bringing his people from, bro. It's recruiting. It's not. Like they're not teaching a back pedal, fam. Like relax.
Well, and that's another thing. Like I would imagine that a lot of these guys that are, off the field recruiting analysts and, watching video and all that stuff over at ULL, probably had to watch a ton more video, or probably having to scour, a lot more of the, the ranks and do a lot more actual scouting of players, because, they weren't always going after the guys that are your rivals, 4 stars and 5 stars. You have to go and you have to build out this, these teams, and you have to go out and find, some undercover, talent. And, they obviously had a huge team over at ULL doing that. And, there's a reason that he had such a successful recruiting endeavor over at the University of Louisiana Lafayette. So I have no problem bringing over, some of those guys, a lot of those guys, staffers too. I mean, just because you were coaching in the Sun Belt doesn't mean that you don't have the ability or the skills to coach in the SEC. It's just you're waiting for that opportunity. Now, I don't want to see an entire staff, from the Sun Belt, but bringing over some of these guys, they're highly regarded guys.
Yeah, some of them have prior SEC experience too. They're not just from the Sun Belt. You gotta just check out the whole resumes. Nick, you were talking about the presser. Sorry, we cut you off and went like sideways. We got off track.
Well, I was
just talking about him talking about bringing staff over slowly. Like,
right.
There's some people that he will bring over. I also talked to somebody who's been with Billy, coached with him. He said Billy is a chess player. Every possible outcome for a move will be thought of and considered. And he said he thinks it's going to be a slow process to fill out the staff. The guys you're seeing right now were guys that, like when Dan Mullen came, you knew Hevesy, Gonzalez, and Knox were coming with them. Like those are like his guys. That's going to trigger some people. Sorry. But like, these are like the obvious guys that he was always going to bring with him. but it might be a slow process to fill the rest of the staff out.
All right. Well, let's get into the running backs coach. Jabbar Jalouk is joining as running back coach, and associate head coach on offense. He's been a part of the Louisiana staff for all 4 years that Billy Napier was there. He was ranked by Football Scoop as the 2019 running back coach of the year. He was at Texas Tech. He was at LSU. He was a mentor for Leonard Fournette. Also worked with Darius Geis. So great resume, highly regarded as a running backs coach. Very surprised actually that he stayed all 4 years at Louisiana. I know that he was a guy that was highly, sought after by other programs and other schools. So Silk, I know that you mentioned that you really like this get. Talk to us a little bit more about Jabbar Jalouk.
Just comes off as a recruiter, just searching his name. Just a lot of former players, I guess people he come across giving him a lot of love. Just seems like a real good recruiter when guys are like that, got that energy. Like you said, Leonard Fournette, guys who came after Leonard Fournette, both of those guys accredit him for their careers. He's got a lot of relationships in Louisiana. I'm interested to see what our Louisiana recruiting looks like going forward, especially with a guy like Brian Kelly in there, a guy that's not like of that cloth of Louisiana. So I think they're a little vulnerable. But yeah, I like it. I like his resume, everything about him, especially with the recruiter we had at running back positions before. I think we just upgraded big time.
What's something interesting to me? So he was the lead recruiter on Grant and Delpit, 5-star. Like you're going out and you're getting dogs, but also he was the guy who signed Clyde Edwards-Helaire at LSU. So that shows me that you're not just chasing stars. You're doing some watching film, breaking down film of your own, because obviously Clyde Edwards.
The backs he brought it to ULL. Like those guys are real good. He evaluated very well because all those guys are very, very good running backs.
Yeah, so he is interesting to me. A ton of ties in Louisiana. I think he coached at Southern as well. They were
played at Southern too, I believe.
Played at Southern. Okay.
Yeah.
He and Billy were in to see, I forget the kid's first name, Silk, help me out. Citizen, the running back.
All I remember is Citizen. Hold on one second.
Citizen Kane. There you go. They were Trevante Citizen. Okay. They were in and did an in-school visit, and I think they're doing an in-home visit with him tonight. So they're already and the picture they released. So like I'm guessing Jalouk didn't leave Louisiana. But the picture, he's wearing a Gator hat, a Gator 3/4 zip. He's got some of those on the field J's. Billy just hopped on the jet with a whole outfit for his running back coach.
I can see it. Hey Nick, you want to know what I didn't see in any of the
Pleats
pictures so far? I haven't seen pleats at all, baby.
Not a damn pleat to be seen, Daniel.
You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing some tailored pants. I'm not seeing any pleats. I think that we could probably go more chino style pant rather than, dress pant, when we're rocking J's, but that's okay. I'm proud to bring some fashion swagger back to the University of Florida.
The best decision he's made so far? This guy's making great decisions. I like how he's moving. Clean out house, unblock silk.
How did that
how did that happen? I need the story. So
I don't like. This is what I think. I was hitting Landry. I was like, "Yo, holla at your mans," but Landry hadn't responded. I don't think Landry really gave.
I got the vibe that Landry was like, "Silk, I like you, not putting my neck on the chopping block for you here with this."
He used to be on the roll-up network, but he ain't gonna vouch for me. That's crazy. But I went to bed, and it was a lot of fans hitting him up, putting my ads. So I went to bed, woke up at like 2:30 in the morning, randomly. Check my phone real quick, and my man DJ Josue had added him with a whole little campaign of unblocked silk, and some just said, "Let me see if I'm unblocked." I hit it 2:30 in the morning. I look at my phone like, "Yo, I'm unblocked."
Somebody
shout out to Billy, man.
For you. And you immediately fired off a tweet at him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you gotta let him know what's up. Nick, you text me. What were you doing up that time of morning?
Bro, it's new site. The sleep since the new site has started has been minimal.
I was surprised to hear my shit go ding. I'm like, who the hell texted me? It's Nick. Are you really on block? Yeah, bro, I'm on block.
Yeah, I've been up chasing news.
That's what's up, man.
You. All right. So Jabbar Jalouk, incredible.
Good hire. Great hire.
Just an incredible background in terms of his coaching. Obviously, a lot of ties to the South, a lot of ties to Louisiana. Had a lot of guys do really well at LSU, Louisiana Tech, and the University of Louisville, University of Louisiana, Lafayette. So excited for him. Seems like a guy that is going to be a dogged recruiter. And then the Gators announced, is it Hockey or Hawk, Nick? Do you know from Mark Hawk? Mark Hawk. So Mark Hawk is the Gators associate head coach, director of football strength and conditioning. Also spent all 4 years with Billy Napier at Louisiana and coached at the University of Alabama, coached at Florida State. He coached at a couple of schools, Texas A&M as well. Has a lot of certifications, all that kind of fun stuff. So, Nick, what do you know about Mark Hawk?
I mean, he's kind of been everywhere. It's I understood the groundswell of support for Nick Savage to stay. The strength coach is someone who's around the team more than anybody else, just because of NCAA rules. The coaches can't be out there. So it has to be a guy that you trust, and you're not going to, Billy Napier coming in, getting the biggest opportunity of his career. I don't know. He doesn't know. To take a line from him, he doesn't know Nick Savage from Adam's House Cat.
Right.
So you're going to go with the guy that you've been with for some time. And I saw some stuff that wasn't super great about Hawk when he was younger. I think that was at Alabama.
Was it at Alabama or was it at Georgia?
I don't know if it was at Georgia. It was at Georgia because he went there. I guess we're just gonna have to see. Like he learned from, what was it, Cochran at Alabama?
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll wait and see. I don't really know too much about his program. I'm hoping that we get to talk to him or see some of it. But
from an energy standpoint, I'm gonna be Savage. I went and looked at a lot of his videos, and he's really a lot calmer of a demeanor guy than I would say Nick Savage was. Nick Savage brought a lot of energy. But the results of his resume is there. And he has the resume to like Florida State, Alabama. He has the credentials. But from an energy standpoint, I mean, those guys come with a staff too. So he most likely has an energy guy on his staff.
What did you say about the staff? You said it looks like they got some guys who've done time on the staff.
I didn't say that.
Someone on the timeline was like, "Yo, some of these guys on this strength staff look like they've got some like years behind bars."
For sure.
All I know is he looks like Dan Bilzerian. That's all I know.
No, an incredible beard.
Yeah,
so,
I mean that's an illustrious beard, and I think it's relatively new.
Beard,
all the pictures of him show him with no beard. So
I mean, that's a beard that, shout out to Manscaped. You need some beard oil in there. Take some up.
Manscaped does that.
They ain't got beard oil. I'm trying to see what kind of package
shout
you
out
got.
To Manscaped. Maybe they should make some beard oil. Nick just creating product lines for Manscaped.
Like bro, I didn't get no beard oil products.
Yeah.
I'm part of the research and development team with Manscaped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick's been applying the lotion to the wrong part of the body.
Putting the ball deodorant on his beard.
Oh man, not gonna have a musty chin.
Trying to make sure he ain't chafing on his chin.
I'd be curious to see how the rest of that staff, does shake out. The Gators do have a couple of former NFL guy. Well, I think they have at least one NFL guy that's on one of the assistant spots now. Curious to see how that, that staff shakes out a bit. Obviously,
do we know if the secondary staff, they was told all them got to go too? What's the vibes there? Or do we just talking about like positional coaches, or the secondary staff just still getting evaluated, right?
To be honest with you, so I don't know if any of them are staying.
All the GAs.
I'm talking about GAs. I think he's talking about assistant strength coaches. I think he's talking about recruiting analysts. I think he's talking about everybody.
Right. Like, what are they doing? They're working right now. So like,
yeah, I think they'll be in place through signing day. But I want to also caution people. It might be a rough early signing day. Like you're not going to be.
Oh, no doubt.
You're not going to be celebrating much.
10 days away, bro.
It's going to be rough. I think the quote that really stuck out to me from Billy was, it's got to be a marriage. You can't just elope. You can't just say. And it's what I told you guys. I was like, yo, you're not going to salvage this 2022 class. And you guys were like, you can't just give up on it. I'm like,
you're not February. He's going to salvage this shit. Like, you got to go to February. You got the portal. Like, you got to salvage this. I think a lot of people are going to do this. A lot of people getting exits. You know, like, it's a lot of shit going on.
But that's what I said. You're going to have to hit the portal harder. And you're not going to go and give, scholarships aren't 4-year commitments. But you're not going to go and get a bunch of guys just to get guys and fill a class.
Right. And in a different circumstances, you will, but it's just other options now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, regardless, and even if you're in a bind and in a like a crunching time, like you still got to fill those slots. You need bodies, like regardless. But there's other ways to get bodies now. People don't have to sit out. You can work the portal. Like it's different football.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. There's obviously a ton of names that are in there. I know Chris Bogle entered his name. Andrew Chatfield's entered his name since, just from UF. And I would imagine, what do you think, Nick? Probably 8 to 10 more, at least probably test the portal over the next couple of weeks. But certainly that means it's going to happen at other schools too. There's a lot of, great talent and great players that are out there. In fact, the number one player in the country from last year's class that signed with Ohio State is visiting his new schools right now. So it can happen. It's going to change, early. It's going to change often. Billy's got to go out there and get his guys to fill out the rest of this roster to make it, not only a competitive roster for next year, but really build a solid foundation going into to these seasons after.
Right.
And then finally, the last coach that was announced, as an analyst, offensive analyst for quarterbacks is Ryan O'Hara. That is a new name. I know some people were confused with Ryan McNamara, who was a former quality analyst, as well as Kirby O'Meara. But Ryan O'Hara worked with the quarterbacks and spent the last 4 years at Louisiana. And let's see, he worked at Alabama A&M before that, where he was an offensive coordinator, and then coached quarterbacks at Mount San Antonio College and Santa Monica College. So, former offensive coordinator, guy that's worked with Billy, is the first offensive analyst hired in this group.
That's a sneaky move there, and something Billy talked about. I think he mentioned he wants to have two offensive line coaches, and so Billy's going to call plays and coach quarterbacks. Now you have an off the field guy that will help you with the quarterbacks, which frees up being able to have two offensive line coaches, and he. This is gonna be a different.
I love that two offensive line vibes, dog. I feel like we finna like lay on people.
It's gonna be a different offense. It's gonna be a run heavy offense. I think.
Let's lay on some people.
Donovan did the Donovan Kaiser, one of our interns at On3, did the numbers, and it's like historically for Billy is like 56 to 58% run. So 2 offensive line coaches, possibly 2 defensive line coaches, because you might have a defensive line coach and then like an outside linebacker, which would be like a buck or an edge coach. So that can be a linebacker, a defensive line, however you want to categorize that, but definitely an emphasis in the trenches on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, don't know anything about him. I like the idea, but again, Nick, I'll defer to your commentary on that. I like your take. Obviously, there's going to be a bunch of names, and they're going to be, some names people have potentially heard of, maybe some guys that people have never heard of. But I like what Levi Lewis was. I think his name was the quarterback at Louisiana. You did say what?
Yeah, that's him, Levi Lewis.
Yeah. So Levi Lewis, he did well. So I'm curious to see how everything shakes out. And obviously there's a system and you go your system. So good to see him involved. Definitely curious to see who shakes out from, this coaching staff. I know you mentioned Shane Graham is sticking around. Vernell Brown is sticking around. Curious to see who else might be a part of that list. But any other takes on the staff? Nick, we didn't mention it before. We were talking about defensive coordinators. Mike Mcdonald is a guy over at Michigan right now, is a name that I've also heard. Don't totally know all the connection or what that relationship might be, but that's a name that I heard along with Jim Knowles and Doug Belk as well. So I think that we'll start to get some more clarity. I think that there's some clarity at the running back position. I'll have to remember. But anyway, I know there's a couple coaches that there might be potential targets that are currently in the NFL.
What are you hearing the wide receiver coach?
I haven't heard anything. That's the one position that I think that we're completely blank on. There has been no names thrown around as far as I'm concerned. Nick, have you heard any?
Yeah, let me pull it up. I don't want to mess it up. Sorry, this is bad. I was not prepared.
No doubt. Another name that keeps coming up, and I don't know if there's a room on the staff for it now that you get into offensive line coaches, but Willie Corn name is a name that keeps coming up and that I'm interested in.
Well, here's the thing. Well, I don't think he calls it over there, does he?
No, I don't think so.
But here's the thing. So a lot of people were like Tom Herman, and naming some offensive coordinators. Like Tom Herman's not leaving the NFL to be like the offensive coordinator in title only. Like
That would be so. He just need a foundation, not somebody's gonna be here a year and gone.
I'm just finding myself answering some questions where I'm like, why is that even a question? Like it's like a lot of people keep asking me, like, is Billy coaching the bowl game? I'm like, what are you talking about? The bowl game's in 17 days. He's going to install his offense and a game plan with guys he's never coached or no.
People like that, like
to the point where I think I'm getting trolled. Like I've answered it so many times, I feel like I'm getting trolled.
That's the thing. You just got to ignore it.
That's wild.
I'm not answering that question.
Wild.
If you think the new coach is going to coach the bowl game,
yeah, I'm like, what?
You got to go to Facebook. Like that's levels to this, bro.
Excuse me. I need you to get off the Bird app. You got to go over to
Go
You got to go over to Meta.
Work your way over here.
You got to go to Mark Zuckerberg's Meta with those questions, buddy. A name that I heard is Cale Gundy. I don't believe that Gundy is going. He's the inside wide receivers coach at Oklahoma, and I don't believe he'll be going to USC with Lincoln Riley. So that's a name that I've heard. I don't know. I don't know if there's legs to it, but that's just one. I
wonder where that connection is. He's been at Oklahoma forever. He's since 1999, and he went to Oklahoma. I don't know where his connection is to Billy. I'm not saying that there's not one. Brent Venables, being a former Oklahoma guy, coach himself. I don't know if he wants to keep a guy like that, but that reminds me of what's his name? That's the defensive line coach at FSU. That's just there forever. That's how I feel like Cale Gundy is going to probably be at Oklahoma.
Man, I'm forgetting his name. Odell.
Yeah, Odell Higgins. So
I got another to steer us directly off the tracks here. I had another wild Twitter take when Lincoln Riley was announced that he was leaving. People were like, couldn't understand it. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's getting paid like a king's ransom to not live in Oklahoma, and he gets to live in Southern California. I'm like, every single time people were like, I'd rather live in Oklahoma than California. I'm like, you're an idiot.
Nobody said that. Nobody said
many people said that.
Yeah, no, I've been to Norman, Oklahoma, and it's a fine town. In fact,
Dan has such wild takes about these flyers.
There we go.
No. And it's close enough to Oklahoma City. It's like 30 minutes away. There's like things to do there, but in no world would I ever choose Norman, Oklahoma versus Los Angeles when you're getting paid that kind of money? Because it's not even just the money that you're going to be making. It's the access to everything else that you're going to have.
Right.
Man. LA is a cool place. I don't think I'd want to live there, but
people are like,
I want to live there for rich. I do want to live there for rich.
Yeah.
For the money
I don't know if you guys
making,
have watched Selling Sunset, but woo.
No, I've watched Entourage, and I feel like that's the life I would be living.
That's a little bit more of a manly show that I could have mentioned, yeah.
Damn, went straight to Bravo.
Yeah. Netflix.
Yeah, I frequent Bravo.
Okay, I'm just me then over here, out of my own island. Sorry.
I seen you order fufu drinks. You can't judge me.
I don't. My vodka soda.
Trying to think if I've seen anybody else's name thrown around. Nick, have you?
I don't trust vodka drinkers. Anybody that's a like avid vodka drinker, I don't trust you.
Well, listen, we got bourbon in the house, but if I'm gonna go out and be out, I'm not gonna be drinking, a bourbon on the rocks while I'm at the club.
Oh, you know what? We also missed Jacob LaFrance. It hasn't been announced yet officially, but it's my understanding that he's going to be joining the staff as well. Is that true, Nick? It's just not been official?
Yes.
So Jacob LaFrance, director of player personnel, I think has already changed. Yep, has already changed his Twitter bio and everything else. We just don't have any official word yet from the University of Florida. I would imagine coming over in the exact same role.
Shout out to Kevin Camps. Just got to tell him, hey, don't send the coaches their edits before you want them to post them, because there were a bunch of guys today posting it way before Florida, was ready to announce it. And Gator Nation is wild on Twitter. If a Gator logo pops up on a coach that's not already on staff, they will find it and it will be public knowledge quickly.
Yeah, which reminds me that there was also another name. Wow, this is going to be a tough one. He wasn't announced, but he changed his bio. His first name's Kyle. His last name is
Coach Kaz. Just stick it with that, Dan.
Yeah, Coach Kaz is Kaz Akivasius.
Bro, just stick with Kaz. He just told you that. You still gonna try to
man. There's consonants where vowels are supposed to be, vowels where consonants are supposed to be. That's like a Mike Krzyzewski kind of name.
Know yourself.
Yeah, it's probably,
you go with the nickname and you stick with it.
Yeah, Coach Kaz. Kyle Kaz. He's going to be a support staffer as well, coming over from Louisiana Lafayette. But again, not announced. So we wanted to get the four names that were definitely announced as well.
Break that news, Dan.
As well as Vernell Brown.
No.
That's what we do on the show, baby. All right.
Like I said, in Army, there's going to be a lot of those guys, like 30 of those guys that are in.
So we buy golf carts?
Listen, make them all look like Jimbo's golf cart when he threw the Christmas tree out.
If you guys need a golf cart, call Cam.
We need a golf cart sponsor.
With Cam sells golf carts. You can't be flexing on our
stop giving Cam free advertising right now.
Yeah. Cam sell, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Cam, now I need 5% of all proceeds from this ad read that Dan just did.
I love it. So we'll see. Excited about the staff, excited about Billy Napier. But before we get into the press conference, breaking that down a little bit more, let's give a shout out to our friends over at Home Field Apparel. It is the holiday season. It is Christmas time. Hanukkah just passed, but maybe you need yourself a last-second late Hanukkah present. Visit homefieldapparel.com. Use promo code Stadium and Gale. A couple people have asked. That's all one word, Stadium and Gale. Check out them. University of Florida, they have hoodies now. Everything else, they also have a bunch of other schools. They're announcing new schools by the day. Check them out, homefieldapparel.com. Use promo code Stadium and Gale and get 15% off your order. Again, homefieldapparel.com. Promo code Stadium and Gale. All right, Nick. So you were there. Good press conference yesterday. Scott Strickland talked a little bit about through an introduction of Billy Napier. Then Billy Napier went through a written out, typed out speech, thanking his wife, thanking his family, thanking the University of Louisiana, going through his process, and then was asked a bunch of questions. And in fact, Nick was told that he asked a great question, which is to all of our surprise during that. But Nick, you were there. Give us the vibes. Give us the energy.
That on this show.
Give us the vibes and give us the energy. Seemed a bit subdued, not in a bad way, but just his nature. So tell us a little bit.
I think that's him.
Yeah.
He comes from and is comes from a very deeply religious family. He's very religious. His father was a high school coach in North Georgia. Unfortunately, passed away after a battle with ALS, which is just a nasty disease. He his dad, even when he wasn't able to coach anymore, would send his players Bible verses or a Bible quote every day. And then obviously ALS affects your motor function and what you can do. And then it got to a point where he couldn't physically send those out anymore. And that's when Billy and Billy's brother started doing it for him. So I think what I got from Billy was that, not to be too religious, but that religious background that he has is he's a man of integrity. And I really got from him. Some people were talking about, getting McElwain vibes from him. I think the only McElwain vibe I got from him is that he cares more about the individual than like the football player and what they're going to do for him on the field. I think he really cares about making an impact on the players' lives. That's what I got.
What were the fans saying? Like McElwain
people,
vibes,
I mean, you understand, Gator fans on Twitter. As soon as he said, we're not concerned about stars, people are like, oh, here we go again, another lazy McElwain, another lazy Saban.
Yeah. I'm concerned about that too.
I'm like, listen, dog, a guy that demanded $8 million to fill out his coaching staff and support staff is going to recruit. Like, they're not, going to be wake surfing.
There's no way he spends that type of want this big ass army to go just wake surf.
Yeah, they so it's interesting. He everyone I've talked to has said like he doesn't have hobbies. Like this is it. Like, oh,
this is my type of guy.
He just like it's like church,
like
family, church, family, football, and that's like football's his hobby.
That's it.
That's it. That's his job. That's his hobby.
What's the hobby? What other hobby you need, bro? You got football. You make millions of dollars to coach it. Like, what other hobby do you need? Who needs to go wakeboard? Yeah. Like, for real.
I said it on the podcast. If I made as much money as Dan Mullen made at the University of Florida, I'd vacation like Dan Mullen too. What's the point of having the money if you're not using it?
No, bro. If I did, I would do it quietly.
No, I'm no what? You gotta flex on IG.
No, you can't.
Nick's putting Instagram photos from the coach to the Amalfi coach.
Yeah. Bro, I'm off of Mykonos. I'm showing you pictures of beautiful, beautiful vibes, beautiful scenes. I'm letting you know that I'm not calling
Steve Spurrier's story from
oh gosh,
from a guy, but like that, there's no way Steve would have been dumb enough to really put that on video and put it out to the world. Like, hey, yo, we out here on the bye week, hanging out in the ocean and chilling before we play Tennessee. You gotta be smart.
Can you imagine?
Bro, come on.
Times are different. So Nick, I know we talked a little bit about his personality. Again, a bit more subdued. A guy that looks like he likes to have a chaw in his mouth every once in a while. But relatively, definitely some eyes.
What do you think? What do you think the
great culture?
What do you think the flavor of choice for that chaw is, Dan?
Oh man, I think he's
Copenhagen guy. Is he a Skull guy?
Yeah, no, he's definitely
North Georgia
Skull guy.
North Georgia screams. North Georgia screams Copenhagen straight. Maybe snuff. Maybe some guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's a snus type of guy,
No, not snus. Snuff. Like that.
Sorry. I thought you said snus. No,
he's old school.
Yeah, he's a guy that I think likes to drink some bourbon or whiskey every once in a while.
If you're watching on YouTube,
see him throwing some Red Man in every once in a while.
I lost me in the snuff shit, but yeah. You like bourbon and shit for sure.
Yeah. He's grabbing a handful of Red Man, rubbing some double bubble around it.
A lot of Pentecostal vibes, little apostolic vibes with the dressings.
Yeah. I would say meticulous and calculated.
I know what's going on here.
Is that is that the ones that like speak in tongues?
No doubt, Nick.
Yes? Yes or no?
No doubt, yes.
Okay.
No doubt. I don't think they don't just walk around. It's like a language.
I speak Spanish, English, and tongues.
I get calculated and meticulous with him. One guy that I talked to, I don't know if I already said it. He, every decision, every outcome from that decision will be weighed out, which is why I wrote the story about the scared money don't make money. They have like analytic firms, and unfortunately for me, it looks like we have a coach who is not down with the punters are people too movement. But they have analytic firms that tell them, when to go for it on 4th and down, given the score, the down and distance, the position on the field, all of these kind of things.
These guys are nerds, young nerds, Dan. I'm telling you. It's a bunch of young nerds. You need
some young, savage nerds. And
man, that's the future, bro. I like it.
Savage nerds. What a time.
They better not get out here using Norvell's 4th down strategies in analytics. I hope theirs is better. Because some of these analytics don't be making sense. It's great when it works, but I don't know if the analytics take in like personnel sometimes. I think it takes like more situations, but sometimes you got to think about your personnel.
Yeah, I totally agree. It'd be interesting to see how how his team shakes out a little bit differently. Donovan, I believe it was Donovan that put out a good story on the.
A lot of good stories, man. Y'all writing your ass off. I like it.
The way,
bro, we had like 14 stories in the last like 28 hours. I'm very tired.
What's your most impressive clickbait caption?
What do I got for clickbait? Man, I'm not good at clickbait.
No. I go right for you, bro. I'll charge you a little fee.
Okay. we'll give you a chance.
Nick, you just need to be creative with it. You just have to start with that. You'll never believe what Billy Napier said about.
and then it's just like, hey, he's going to see Azrae Thomas.
Yeah.
You'll never believe where Billy Napier is today.
Billy Napier is building the Florida Gators football team by doing this one thing, right? So just let Silk and I know when you need some ideas. We got you.
I got you.
We know how to get you some clicks.
I need that.
Anything else stick out during the press conference to you, Nick?
Got to make you Bugatti Nick, bro. We got you.
Hey. No, I just think he's shout out to Billy for recognizing my great question and deeming it as such. Probably first and last.
He rocking with the flagship, bro. He unblocked me. He liked your question. Like, we in there.
I saw whoever shot their shot from the Stadium and Gale podcast. Billy, want to come on the show? Way to shoot your shot, Dan.
He might have some time. Who knows? You never know. Local media. We're going to ask him good, fair questions. We don't have a journalistic standard to uphold over here. So, we're just here to ask the good questions. We want to get the fans. We will do our best to get as many folks that are associated with this.
Big integrity over here. We don't got journalistic integrity, but we got big integrity over here, man. We move a certain way,
I have journalistic integrity. What are you talking about?
No, you'll say anything on here, Nick.
Yeah,
I have great takes. Great takes.
Nick don't respect his platform at all. He'll say anything, bro.
And then he gets called out on it. He wonders what's going on,
Right.
I have the best takes.
Oh, geez. All right. So let's see what else. So what do you think of the press conference?
I liked it. I didn't expect him to win the presser, to be honest with you. He didn't come across at a lot of his old interviews and things like that. Didn't come off real personable, but he was in his bag a little bit. There were certain things I didn't like they said, like the stars didn't matter. I was like, he should have left that out. He should have read the room a little better with not saying things like that. But I got his point. And like Nick said, he's showing that he's emphasizing on recruiting with the staff he's building. So I thought he nailed it, man. Great culture fit. I think he's gonna fit in Gainesville. I think he's a people's person. In a lot of his old interviews, you see he's like real respectful to like everybody that's around him. He's just an old country boy, man. I think it's a great fit. He's just gonna see what the staff feels, how the staff feels out, and then we can make decisions from there. And change our opinion as that happens. But right now, I think he nailed the press conference, bro.
He was like, stars don't matter. I'm like, Billy, no, those are Dan's notes. He left them there. Don't read those. Don't read them.
Don't do that, baby.
I mean, I feel like you
the new
have to
podium
say
was
that,
fire
right?
as well. Like shout out to his suit. I like the suit, and the new podium was gas.
I think the old podium might be broken.
Yeah, leave it there. Wherever it's at.
Give it as a parting gift to Dan. No, I think that you have to say there's a lot of things. I mean, there's one thing that I never take. I take a massive grain of salt with. It's whatever coach speak you hear at a press conference, especially an introductory press conference. Of course, you're going to say that you're going to evaluate and everything else. Imagine if you went up there and be like, yeah, we're just going to look at the rivals, or the on-3 or the 247 composite and just, offer the top 150 and just hope it works out, right? You have to say those kind of things, especially when you talk about buy-in from, the amount of money that they're spending. Nick, if you could pull those numbers up about what they're going to be spending, but those are things that you have to say to win the press conference. And I know that, Florida State got their jokes off and everybody else, but
I'm going to grab that contract. I got some news and notes in there.
I don't care about the jokes. I need the results, man. They know what time it is. We got a recruiter, bro. We got a young boy and some young guys on this staff that's going to get busy on the trail. I don't care what other name getting hired. I don't care if Cristobal, that's a good hire for Miami. Very good. We got a young staff. We got a new facility that's opening up in 2022. Like, business is booming.
Yep.
It's good vibes, man. Great time to make a new hire. Great young staff. It's good energy behind this, man. I'm excited about it. We just got to see how it all works out. Go ahead. I got some other stuff, but get back in your thing, Dan.
No, I mean, there wasn't much else that stood out, to me about the press conference. I thought that he's obviously a guy that is a guy that definitely thinks and plans whatever he's about to say. He's not a fast talker. He's not a shoot from the hip type of guy. He seems like he's the type of guy that probably talks in a lot of stories and metaphors and things of that nature when he's trying to explain something to young men. But I thought that he did well. That's really the first time I've seen him speak in an extended period of time. I thought that he did well. I thought that he answered questions well. So, all in all, I thought that he did quite well. Now it's a matter of seeing the results on the field. Silk, what else you got while Nick's pulling up what the contract?
Oh, we didn't get an email. I'm holding like a physical. I'll turn my camera on for a second. I'm holding like a physical paper copy.
Wow. So you want to go through it. So
let's. I mean, this is.
Let's start with his money. So he's making 7.2
every year. He in 2022 he'll make 7.1 million. 2022, sorry, and then that goes up $100,000 every year. So 23, 7.2, 24, 7.3, and so on and so forth, all the way to 2028, which would be the last year of the contract, making 7.7. Okay. Coach is where is this? In the back, there are performance bonuses. So if you get to the SEC championship game, $125K. If you win the championship, SEC championship, $250K. Any bowl game, $100,000. If you get to an Access Big Six bowl game, New Year's Six, $250K. Make it to a semifinal game, $500,000. Make it to the championship game, $750K. If you win it, a cool $1 million. SEC Coach of the Year, $50,000. National Coach of the Year, $100,000. Finish in the top 10 at $100,000. But the max bonus for any year is $1.5 million. So not going to get much more up than that. There's some interesting stuff, maybe only interesting to me in here. You get the UAA aircraft available for UAA business use up to $70,000 in value. Looked like he was already in Louisiana using some of that $70,000 on day one. I get 16 tickets to every home football game.
I want to research more. I don't think that it's just $70,000 in airfare because that's not a lot of money.
Excuse me. That's for personal use. He can use the plane for business purposes unlimited.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say because that's.
But if the family wants to go on a vacation, they can hop in the UAA jet as well. And that's another thing. Florida has the University Athletic Association, which is a private company that operates the athletics at Florida. They own 2 jets. And when the stuff comes out about like the recruiting budget and Florida's behind Alabama and Georgia, like Georgia doesn't. Florida always tells me this, so take it for what it's worth. They always say, well, Georgia doesn't own their jets, and built into their contract is having to rent those and then pay pilots and fuel and that. He goes, we own our jets. All we have to do is and have pilots on that are contracted. So we're really only paying, to fuel the plane.
Well, they have pilots that are on staff. They have an aviation department. I think they've got 5 or 6 people in the aviation department. They have the hangar costs and obviously the cost of maintenance and fuel and everything else. But UF's plane budget is substantially cheaper. But people didn't come here for plane talk. Nick, talk to us a little bit more. I know he's got 2 late model.
2
luxury
late
cars.
model luxury automobiles, including liability, collision, comprehensive insurance coverages. Sorry, Greg. It looks like Florida is taking care of it.
I like it, man.
Yeah. Well, maybe Greg's got the contract with UF. Who knows?
And then
like show you what you can ask for, bro. Like when people covet you, like you can ask for some wild stuff, bro. Give me a car, man.
So Florida is putting him. Florida will put Billy. Your contract would be wild, wild.
I mean, just on like quarterly.
It's like I need.
He's like, I need the VIP table at Scarlett's every time I go down to Broward for a visit.
Right.
I need a rolling analyst, and I'm not going to be rolling on my own anymore. So 60 days, Florida's going to put him and the family up somewhere for 60 days. He gets $100,000. I don't know how much moving costs, but he gets $100,000 bonus that helps him move. Pay for the moving. Yeah, how much do moving costs? Like, what do you
got to move vehicles. You got a lot of stuff, Nick.
You don't have to move vehicles. You're selling those vehicles. You're getting 2 late model luxury vehicles.
How you know this man about to do this bread, Nick?
Because I'm holding the contract.
What if he got classic cars that he got to ship?
Yeah, never thought about that. So,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you got stuff to ship, bro. He rich. He got bread.
I will say $100,000 to move that's a lot. That's a lot.
Hey, when you're coveted, you gotta know what to ask for. That's what I'm saying. Like he asking for Benzes, like he's asking for a lot of stuff. I like it.
It's interesting because Florida used to have.
That's the moral of the story. If
Florida
they want you can ask for anything.
Ask for anything. Florida used to have a deal with Mercedes, and Will Muschamp, McElwain, all the coaches drove Mercedes. Right when Dan Mullen got here,
500.
Yeah, right when Dan Mullen got here, they switched over and they had a deal with like Davis Chevrolet. And I'm like, I don't feel like Dan's making $7 million a year, giving up his Mercedes to drive like a Chevy truck. I don't think that's gonna happen. He didn't. He drove his Mercedes. I wonder. That'd be hilarious. Like if you're Billy Napier, you walk in like, oh yeah, by the way, Dan's car is here. That's yours now. We'll get you a new one, but in the meantime, here's your Mercedes.
Nobody doing that, Nick. Why are you putting such?
Listen, bro. If I'm firing a coach,
you have just promised him like $50 million,
right?
Plus, and you think that they're worried about the $900 a month lease? Come on, Nick.
All I'm saying is, if I'm firing Dan, I'm saying, and leave the Mercedes key on the desk. Like you're not taking that.
No doubt, but you're not
Uber home,
coach.
Like Uber home.
You're not gonna get it detailed and hold it over and hand it over to the new coach, bro. Like
I hope Dan Mullen and his new $6 million that he gets in the next 48 days are enough for he can afford a car.
Shout out to Dan. Dan enjoyed the Zach Brown concert this weekend.
Yeah, he sure did. Hey, shout out to him. I didn't think he was too bad on.
Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Dan for not changing his plans even after he was fired.
Right? Yeah, that shit going regardless. Grantham went fishing. Big snappers.
Yeah,
big snappers.
John
regular off
Jackson, the Jaguars camp.
They was taking to do that anyway.
What else do we got here?
I kid. Not really.
UAA is paying Napier's buyout, which was $3 million. So you're paying 6 to Dan this year, 3 to UL this year. That's 9. Now you're paying Billy 7. Just drop the cash.
They got it.
Hey, you're not worth
$16 million.
They got it. Ain't nothing to a boss.
Hey, let's see what else. What else interesting in here? I thought the $8 million for the staff was significant. And
So $8 million for on-field staff, and then what was it? $5 million?
7.5 for on-field.
7.5 for
and
on-field.
for the listening audience, give us a comparison to like the top dog programs around the country. Like, what we compare.
That's I think Alabama's is like 7.2 this year, but it was 8 million the year before, and it kind of just depends when you're adding coaches and like Florida fires Todd Grantham, so like that budget would go down. Like if they replaced Todd Grantham with Christian Robinson, who was making $450,000, that budget then goes down because you're not using that money. But that puts Florida. It's significantly more than Florida's ever had for themselves, and it goes right. I think Ohio State's 7.6. I think so it puts you up with the Georgias, the Ohio States, the Alabamas.
I like that neighborhood. Then our logo could do what it do once we're in that neighborhood.
I like the way
if
you
we
said
ain't in that neighborhood. What's up? Huh?
I like how you said that. That's the neighborhood you want to be in. You were not. You were in a townhome before.
Because what we've been seeing is like the money it goes. Like you see the results of it. Everybody that's spending that type of money, you see the results of it. Mm-hmm. So I think when we start spending that type of money, we're gonna see the results with our logo. Like we just gotta spend that bread. That's it.
The bread is being spent.
Big bread.
Baked and sent off immediately. Yeah, that's all I got for you, Dan.
And the buyout is 85% of whatever's remaining on the contract. Is that right?
Let me find that.
Oof. He negotiated quite the deal.
Yeah.
Billy, man.
Buyout.
This guy made demands. I like all his demands. Like you gotta set yourself up for success. I like that he turned down Auburn before. I like that he's a man of his word. He told those recruits he's gonna finish with them. Like his G code, his face on the streets is crazy.
He coached at HBCU.
Players coached at HBCU. Former players, professional guys. Like everybody vouched for this guy. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
also,
his face card is clean, man.
None of us can say this on the podcast. I mean, the hairline hasn't moved a centimeter. My guy's got the hairline of a 14-year-old with the buzz cut. He's got like an army cut. All right, termination without cause. The UAA. That's a professional segue.
If you want to see a haircut, go look at my man Marcus Freeman's haircut at Notre Dame.
Shout out to Marcus Freeman, man. Notre Dame. I like that height. They went out on a limb right there, and I like it.
Bro, how about him? He had a chance to go back to LSU with Ed O and was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go to Notre Dame." That worked out well.
No, I think they was gonna. I think they was they when he left. They did the Willie Taggart thing. They did the that's the thing. So when he left, they was like, "All right, no, you're not. We're just gonna pull a coup. We'll keep everybody and let you go." That's what they did to Willie. That's what's kind of happened to Brian Kelly a little bit.
Brian Kelly sent the plane to Notre Dame, and nobody got. He's like, "Hey guys, who's coming with me?" Nobody comes.
Imagine it opening back up in Louisiana and nobody. That accent killed me. Did you guys see the fake accent?
What in the
world?
I give it a 0.
Brian Kelly, like a week before.
I gave him 1 for but just being dumbing up to try being dumb enough to bro, you haven't been in this town a
nobody
full work
from the
shift.
South even talks like that. That wasn't even a good Southern accent.
He was like my family, and I'm like, what
nobody talks like that except for Forrest Gump. My family. What are you saying?
They put Forrest Gump on the TV in the plane from Indiana to Louisiana. He's like, y'all sound like this? Okay.
That's nuts. Dude,
my mama said LSU's a great job. Like, Brian, please, you're from Boston. You've lived in the Midwest for the last 12 years.
He's a film guy, man. He's probably studying Coach O film on the flight. He's like, how do I pull this shit off?
I think
mumble some country lies real quick.
Brian Kelly watched Forrest Gump and Waterboy on the flight down. I was like, all right, I can do this.
Easy enough.
No problem. I got this. All right. So
Marcus would have gave him some good advice, but
professional podcast, professional segue. Termination without cause. The UAA will pay Napier 85% of the remaining annual compensation due otherwise until the contract is done without
It's
any
so
mitigation.
good. Like, it's so beneficial to get fired.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm telling you. I would be.
Don't
Bro,
make me
imagine
mad.
doing
dog.
nothing.
You guys are laughing at me, but I say if I was making as much money as Dan Mullen was, I would be vacationing harder than Dan Mullen. I would get fired, and I would have more money and more
No,
time
I
to
wouldn't
vacation.
do that because I have like ambition and like
Yeah,
and a pair. You feel me? Like
yeah.
I
I'm
wanna
taking
go
my
do
pair
great
to
things. I don't want
Greece,
to just
to Italy.
vacation.
I'm gonna go.
Like-
I'm gonna go visit. I'm gonna go see China. Why not? The Philippines. I'm all over
That
the
sounds
place.
great, Nick, but like, nah, bro, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
I got a
Like,
$1 million
People that
van
rise
in
to the
Costa
level in
Rica.
their profession don't do that kind of stuff.
nah,
Nick.
bro, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than a vacation. I want to be the best. Like, of course, Nick want to go to Italy and do that
Yo, I'm
goofy
on the
stuff,
next-
but bro,
I'm
like,
on-
I want
But
to
that
do
is
the best.
that is nuts. So if he were to do like nothing or like the bare minimum and get fired after a year, he's owed like $40 million.
Listen,
Me
I'm
and
not
me and
saying he's
Jeff
going to,
Bezos.
I'm like,
Me and
hey,
Jeff
it's
Bezos to the moon.
that is
I'm
nuts,
taking
bro.
moon
It's so
vacations.
beneficial to just be like, you know what? I'm just tired of this job. They made me mad. They didn't put enough coffee in the break room. I'm out of here.
Bro, they'd walk into my office and be like, "Yo, who we playing this week?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm talking to my travel
Nigga
agent.
has no ambition.
I'm talking to my travel agent
It's all
right
starting to
now.
make sense, isn't it? Seth? It's all starting to make sense.
Like,
We're gonna have a team meeting, just you and me after this.
I'm not even flying home with the team on Saturday. I'm going straight to California.
That's this guy, bro. How you just be like, yeah, I don't know. We had a game.
It's just a different ambition. Just a different kind of. Wait, what game?
Oh my
It
goodness
ain't just
gracious.
a check, bro. Like, you know.
This show's falling off the rails.
Okay.
I like
All
it.
right,
Like,
let's-
it's a great conversation, man. This is
Nick,
a lifestyle show.
Any other commentary on Billy Napier's contract?
Yeah, it's the same kind of deal in terms of the termination without cause, where it's half within. Actually, this is half within 30 days. Yo, what? You give me the money in half the time that you're going to give it to Dan? Man, if I were Billy Napier, I'd be fired by June.
See, this is why I'm glad we hired a guy like Billy and not like Nick in this situation. Because Billy's a stand-up guy. See, you can give a guy like Billy a contract like this because he's shown that he's a man of his word. He's gonna stay and fulfill a whole contract. He tell recruits that type of shit. He's a G. Guys like Nick, you gotta watch.
Yo,
He's
send me over my
McElwain and Mullen.
Send me over my Stadium and Gale contract. I need to look at this fired without cause contract for the podcast.
You owe us money, Nick.
It's a 503c. Word it down.
I'll be back here.
Oh man. All right, boys, let's get on to a little bit more. Before we do that, let's give a shout out to our friends over at Game Time Sidekicks, which is an officially licensed stainless steel drinkware brand started back in 2015 to bring the best collegiate drinkware to fans around the country. All stainless steel vacuum insulated tumblers, over 350 schools, multiple size, colors, logos, and a variety of stainless steel products from tumblers to bottles to shaker cups and more. Use promo code STADIUM at GameTimeSidekicks.com and get 10% off your order. GameTimeSidekicks.com, promo code STADIUM, 10% off. What was that, Nick?
I need to fix an incorrect take. Probably my first incorrect take on the podcast.
Shout out to them cups, man. Them cups are gas. Like, I just want to make sure I give a shout out to those cups.
I
My
previously
family
said,
are loving them things, man.
yes, I previously said though that they are dishwasher safe. I think they are, but not recommended. They are recommended to be hand washed. The lady of the house threw the shaker
That's the
into
dishwasher, right?
threw it into the dishwasher, yeah, and got a little chipping. So hand wash those things.
Great cups, man. You know,
Great cups.
every
Great
morning
product.
I usually even if I'm getting cold or hot, whatever you need, the cup is gonna hold that temperature. You know, good vibes. I appreciate them. I want that white cup though. I didn't get the white cup.
All right.
Real classy.
All right. So let's see. So the Gators announced that they are playing, the Gasparilla Bowl announced that the University of Florida and the University of Central Florida are going to be playing in Tampa, Florida on December the 23rd. The Gators right now sit as 7.5-point favorites over UCF. The over-under the last time I checked was 56.5, so it's somewhere around there. The Gators are going to be potentially out a couple of starters in that game as well, although that hasn't been officially announced yet. Your thoughts on the matchup? Do you guys care at all about this?
Yeah, I want to defund bowl games.
Okay.
That's a hot take. Dan's like, do you care? It looks like take all of them away.
Yeah, defund bowl games, man. Like, what are we doing? I don't want to play UCF in this meaningless game, dog. Like, I don't know who's going to play. Players are in and out of the portal. Like, what's about to happen? Gregory Knox is leading them into Tampa. I ain't feeling it.
First off, how dare you? Interim God, Sir King of the Interims, Sir Gregory Knox.
Well, let's not get too excited, Nick.
2-0. What is wrong with you?
Say anything with
Greg
your
Knox.
platform, fam.
Well, I have a platform if you can't be ignorant with it. Sir Gregory Knox, the king of the interim head coaches, will have his team ready to fight, to play against the Fighting Knights of Pegasus at UCF.
Nick, it's your alma mater versus the school you cover. Who do you got winning?
I looked it up. I might be
about to catch these hands regardless.
I looked it up. I might be the problem. Florida, the University of Florida football program is 69-43 since I stepped foot in town. Not a good record.
No.
We need to get you out of here.
I'm trying to get fired. What's my buyout?
You don't have one, Nick.
Okay, well, I'm staying.
It's the same as Ahmad's.
I'm not leaving.
Is there anything that you can take out of this game, or is it just a game in Tampa?
I like it because it's bowl games are, whether it's a New Year's Six Bowl or if it's the Toilet Bowl. Barstool's Bowl isn't even being televised; like they're streaming it on their website. Probably a good business model for them, but like not even. But it's a week for the players. Like the players get to go to Tampa and chill on the beach. Get some swag, have fun. It's a time. The last time that group as a team, shout out to Dan Mullen. He loves saying this. Last time that team will get a chance to be together and play a football game together. So I like it for that aspect. But you've got a bunch of fired football coaches that are going to be doing this, and everything they put on film is their resume. So like they're not going to be checked out of this game. If they show up checked out, that's going to affect them getting a new job. So I do think in the scheme of things of becoming the butt of a joke, having to listen to UCF fans forever, like there's more to lose in this game than there is to win.
Ain't nothing to lose. I'm not paying them no mind about this game, man. Like, I don't even know why they scheduled this. I don't care about it. I do think we win it, but like if they so happen to win it, like they're not even gonna get on my nerves. Like I don't care. Like
they didn't consult Silk before scheduling.
Absolutely. Like they know what time it is.
Corey, we're going to go to the Gasparilla Bowl. No, we're not. Okay, that's it. Non-negotiable.
It's interesting. The Gasparilla is in January, at the end of January, so it's an odd name. I didn't know it was at Raymond James Stadium. I thought it was in St. Pete. I guess they moved it in the last couple of years.
It in 18. 18 was the first year at Ray J.
Okay. And so the Gators haven't played in Tampa since 2000.
You mean
they haven't played a company?
They played there September 11th against.
Well, no. What I'm saying is they hadn't played since 2017, and they played twice in 1 year. And of course, both times they play here, I'll be out of town. So
what was 17? The Outback Bowl?
Excuse me.
Yeah, when they played
Iowa.
Excuse my ignorance, fellas. Like I'm a little confused. Is Gasparilla a company?
No, Gasparilla is an event.
So
Gasparilla is the third or largest.
Who is sponsoring the Gasparilla Bowl?
Union Mortgage. They've had hold on.
They've had
several
the Bad Boy Mowers.
Yeah, they've had several very interesting. But here, so actually, let's not do that. Someone at the Cotton Bowl last year. Because I was the only Florida media.
What the hell going on?
I was the only Florida media member there, and somebody at the Cotton Bowl last year asked me. They were like, "Why haven't you in like all of your tweets and when you're writing, you don't mention. I don't even remember what the sponsor was. And I was like, bro, the sponsor didn't cut me a check. I don't care who's sponsoring this game. If they want me to say it's the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, then cut me a check. So this is the Gasparilla Bowl. We don't care about who's
the type of guy that
sponsoring
also
it.
calls it the Super Bowl, even though he's not allowed.
Yeah, it's a Super
I
Bowl.
can see that. Just
I'm a news.
complete disregard.
Protected. I'm protected. I'm a news outlet. I'm not using it for marketing. I'll say Super Bowl all I want. I'm trying.
Well, anyway, Union Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, December 23rd, 7 p.m.
Hey, send a check, Union Mortgage.
Union Home Mortgage. I'm not even familiar with them, and I've lived here for 8 years. So, so here we find ourselves, Union Home Mortgage.
So you see us still gonna catch these hands, man. I think we still can go lean on them people. We just bigger and stronger than them. We can hand the ball to Damian Pierce, but who knows if Knox still got some Mullen vibes and not want to give it to him. But I still think we can just lean on them people and get out of there.
Yeah,
no worries. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, as long as we're not trying to lose and get a buyout, I think we're all right.
I just don't think, I don't think that this team is really built to try to lose. That they played hard enough against FSU to get to this point. There's still, rivalries. There's still guys that they played against, in high school, former teammates that they probably have as well, on that team. And, UCF is, coached by Gus Malzahn, who, had a good career over at Auburn. So you have to think that they're going to get their team ready. And UCF wants this game. They've been wanting to play Florida and said Florida's been ducking them all these years. So this is a further chance to go into the offseason with good vibes. So
that's one of my favorite trash talk. Football players afraid to play football against other football players. That's the best one.
Yeah.
All right, real quick.
Yeah.
Previous sponsors. This used to be the St. Petersburg Bowl, Dan. You were correct.
Right, yeah.
They played at the Trop. First one was Magic Jack. Don't know what that is.
Phone company. Oh, yeah.
Then it was the Beef O'Brady's Bowl.
Yep, for a while, right?
Before its time, but probably can make a comeback, the BitPay St. Petersburg Bowl, which is a Bitcoin payment service provider headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia.
They might need to double back. Yeah. What they got going on?
Now.
Then we got silly. I think this is when Silk gave up on the bowl games. When it became like the bad boy mowers bowl. There was like the Duck Dynasty Bowl.
What?
I don't think it was the Duck Dynasty Bowl, Nick.
Whenever they making stuff up.
No. Check it. Cam Spence. It was the whatever's in Shreveport.
Duck Dynasty Bowl. Like, why would Duck Dynasty be sponsoring the bowl?
Duck Dynasty was big at the time. They sponsored the bowl game. It was only 1 or 2 years. They sponsored the bowl that was in Shreveport. Duck Commander. There you go. That's the company.
Which is
Duck
completely different.
No, the show is Duck Dynasty. Their company is Duck Commander. So I didn't know that. I'm not buying duck whistles. That's their company. Cam, shout out to Cam.
Nick,
Nick, you're right.
Oh, hey,
got all the information, fam.
Someone clip that.
You just be making up stuff.
It was not called the Duck Dynasty Bowl. It was called the Duck Commander Bowl. But yes, Nick is right. It is their company.
Boom.
Show's going off the rails, Nick.
It's a good show.
No.
Silk's drinking out of a mason jar. It's been a good show.
Oh, no doubt, man. A little rum.
Cam's been fishing with them before. I'm going to bring Cam in real quick. Cam, I need you to talk to us about your fishing trip.
Put him on the spot here. Got some dead air. He was not ready.
He get his lies together and shit.
Where did you go fishing with them?
They're just in Destin.
Oh.
They have one of the boys is married to a girl from here, and one of my buddies was a captain for him. So we were all on the dock the same day. We were all fishing. So
cool.
Interesting. Are they the same people in real life that they are on TV?
There?
Yes, these guys are the real deal. That show. I mean, obviously it's scripted a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Was the old man there? Is that grandpa or dad or the guy with
I
the beard?
was there. I was I want to say it was Jace, maybe.
God, yeah, that means nothing to me.
Yeah, see, me too. I mean,
I used to watch that for like a good couple seasons. Then it just got like extra scripted. And when they first started, it was dope, but then it got like real obvious.
Yeah, that's what happened on Below Deck too.
You shot Below Deck. You to watch that. Bravo. See,
Yeah.
I'm a freaking bravo.
Yeah.
I see you,
All right,
Nick.
Cam. We'll see you later, bud.
Unceremonious there.
Well,
Cam.
no.
All right, Cam, get out.
I felt like we moved
Yeah,
on.
get out of
No,
here,
no.
bro.
All right, so
you and your terrible fishing story.
So no, I love Cam. Appreciate everything he does for the show.
Yeah, but that was a terrible fishing story.
Wow.
Let's talk about some other news.
I love
so
Cam, but he
obviously
didn't
last
say anything
week,
about the fishing story.
Who am I surrounded by? Cam's been fishing with these guys. Spence has a Duck Dynasty headlamp, and the two of you are watching Selling Sunset and the Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Nobody talked about the Housewives of Beverly Hills.
And I'm the one with bad takes. Okay.
Below Deck used to be solid.
So since last week, we've had we talked a little bit about it, but Lincoln Riley leaves Oklahoma to go to USC. Brent Venables leaves from Clemson as their defense coordinator, take over at Oklahoma today. Mario Cristobal, Manny Diaz was fired, unfired for the entire day yesterday.
He was never fired.
In fact, my mom texted me today the story about Manny Diaz being fired. She's like, I thought he got fired yesterday. I'm like, no, that was just, she's like, well, then what were your tweets about? I'm like, that's the whole thing about it. It's like he wasn't fired, still out there recruiting. And so Manny Diaz gets fired this morning. Mario Cristobal comes down from Oregon. Let's see what other news has happened. Lane Kiffin signed an extension. Aranda signed an extension at Baylor. I feel like there's probably some other news as well. But what the hell is going on in coaching this cycle, huh?
No, it's wild right now, man. It's just as wild as the portal is. Coaching is, man. It's just a carousel. This is the game.
Yeah.
And these coaches don't care. Like Notre Dame could be going into the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
and he just jumped ship like that. Like for a team that's competing to be in the playoffs, that's insane to me.
Yeah.
He left his family in Indiana.
I think his daughter is still in school at Notre Dame, and
she posted on Instagram. She was like trying to go to class without everyone booing you, and I was like, "Oh, rough, tough scene."
Yeah.
One more. David Cutcliffe let go at Duke. He had been there since 2008.
It's time.
He employed Kurt Roper before he came over to University of Florida.
Sure did.
Oh, the lies I told about Kurt Roper.
I think the lies everybody told about.
I seen that offense in the right in the little bowl game before he was coming out. Like, oh, we about to be something with that offense and then Muschamp.
Let's see. So David, I think I saw today that there is 30 head coaching changes in FBS, which is about 128 or so schools. So nearly, a quarter of all positions. Head coaching positions have been open or changed this year. Nuts. What do you guys think about Mario Cristobal at Miami?
I think it's a good hire for them on paper. I think it's more of the same, though. I think Mario's a little bit more experienced than Randy Shannon was when he got the job. Not a big fan of Mario offense. I think Oregon, despite the talent advantage they had over like schools like Utah, they underachieved like big time, so that's concerning. But he's a guy that can recruit. He's from Miami. But I don't see him being a savior. I just think Miami as a program, they're a private school and they just have deficiencies that they're not going to be able to overcome. And South Florida is just oversaturated. You can't lock that area down anymore. Like everybody and their mama is dying, they're camping out. So I just think like that from a standpoint, if they're trying to lock down Florida and South Florida, it's just not a thing that's going to happen.
Nick, what are your thoughts?
But a good hire for them. I like it for them. That's the best. It's an upgrade from Manny Diaz. That's for sure.
That was a circus. The whole thing was a 3-ring circus.
The process was amazing.
Yeah, they're not even the clown school in the state, and they were giving FSU a run for their money. And then I saw reports like, oh, Manny Diaz might be retained as defensive coordinator. I'm like, how, Sway? How is Manny Diaz going to stay in town? He's got to go. He needs to go coach at like San Jose State. He's got to get as far Hawaii.
Manny put out a heartfelt note, man, about like his he didn't like the way he was treated.
Yeah. What? Who would?
Just an unclassy move, man. The way they was moving was just like very unclassy and just like disrespectful. I don't know how any coach, like after this, I don't know how this Mario situation worked out, but when they have to go hire another coach, they're gonna have a hard time trying to find a guy that's not a Miami guy to come deal with that type of shenanigans.
Yeah, and I'm curious. This isn't an attack on any reporter. I'm curious how all the information was leaking out. There was obviously a message that they were trying to get out. I thought that it was about as juvenile of a coaching search that I've ever seen. Actively talking, about deadlines and meetings. Just the whole thing seemed very inaccurately told. The whole story, but all the while Manny Diaz is out, coaching, and not just Manny Diaz. The entire staff is out coaching or recruiting. These guys get paid a lot of money and everything else, but we talked about it on the show last week. Is it's not just Manny Diaz being fired; it's all of the other assistants that are being fired and uprooted. It's all of the support staff. It's everybody else that's associated with that program. And we just talked about it at the University of Florida of 10 coaches not being retained, probably 20 support staffers not being retained that now have to go and find new jobs and everything else. And a lot of people can say, boo-hoo, Manny Diaz is getting a big buyout, but a lot of these folks aren't. And you're not just dragging Manny Diaz's name through the mud, you're dragging everybody else's name. So it's just it was a juvenile search. People were leaking information, obviously, to try to get information out. And if you don't want Manny Diaz to be your coach, then fire him. But don't do.
That's my stance, man. Like, I don't care about like you firing anybody, and like my thing is like, why embarrass this man? He got a family too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like this guy's like you got it, and he's from that town. He's one of their own, and like I said, we've seen this before, man. Like, and it never ends well. Like they had Randy Shannon, they've had we've seen this higher. Even brought Ed Reed in. They keep trying to keep. I just think they got to get outside of trying to be this Miami thing and bring back old times. You just gotta get out of that, man. Nobody's doing that type of shit around the country. Every school that's trying to do that, find that guy, like USC's trying to find USC's guy, that type Helton, it just don't work out. You gotta think more progressive. But overall, I'm with you. Like the way they handled this coaching situation was to me was horrendous. Mm-hmm. Like it's very embarrassing. Like this man to be recruiting in living rooms and you're courting the guy and saying if we miss, we just gonna go back to him. I'm like, how could you possibly go back to this guy after pretty much saying that we're looking for somebody else?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then I know a lot of people were saying, hey, he should just quit. No, you got to get your buyout money. Right? Talked a lot about that, but
business.
Yeah, no, I thought that was atrocious on behalf of the University of Miami, the way that they.
I want to know where the money's coming from.
Oh, Nick, sources came out and said that Health had a banner year last year. And they're starting to allocate some money from Health over to the athletic program. So,
I like how Nick asked the question you already knew. Where's that money going? Like my wife,
that's wild to me. I would imagine there's staffing deficiencies at Jackson Memorial, but
an attorney would tell you never ask a question you don't know the answer to when you're in court. And I'm in court here, fighting for my life against the two of you. You're paying Manny $8 million not to coach. You're paying $9 million to get Mario out of there, and then paying Mario $8 million on top. So they
say they're gonna build a $50,000, a 50K seat shack somewhere in La Havana. Somehow.
Yeah, and then the I think a city council member came out and was like, "Yeah, that's not happening." They came out today and they're like, "Hey, by the way, saw that stuff that billionaire was talking about, and we actually own that land and it's not for sale." And I was like, "Okay,
bro, that's nuts." Build a 50,000 person replica Orange Bowl stadium.
Yeah.
Bro, they were gonna build it on top of, I think it's either a high school or a middle school. The guy was like, "Yo, let's just knock down this school where kids go to learn."
Sounds about right.
50,000 seat stadium.
Keep in mind, we talking about this search. They didn't even have an AD.
Let's be realistic though.
Like,
50,000.
we just talking about the coach, but like a normal program goes and hire AD before they go and hire a coach.
Yeah.
They did get a good name on paper, but they said that guy was about to get fired from Clemson as well. But they hired an AD and a coach simultaneously, apparently.
It was a package deal.
FSU's closing in on a new athletic director too. From
there's-
Louisville.
I saw you had some thoughts about that one, Dan.
I know who
I
it was.
did.
I don't
So
have
I've
an
got a
athletic
good buddy
director
of
for it,
mine.
but Dan got one.
I've got a buddy of mine that's pretty connected into Louisville. He worked in their athletic department for a couple years, a while ago, like 7-8 years ago. And this guy is hated by the fans and the athletic administration. So it's my understanding that he got the job kind of hostile takeover situation. Former an investment banker type, venture capitalist type, has come in and has done a terrible job at Louisville. So
Dan, so bluntly and matter of factly, hated, hostile takeover.
hated.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's a hostile takeover.
Dan wrote out this monologue and then went like size 20 font on a couple words. And it was hated,
Yeah.
hostile takeover.
That
terrible
was a
job.
hostile takeover. He has 2 years of experience being an
man,
athletic
that's
director.
hilarious.
Florida State's going to hire him. It's nuts.
My kind of guy.
I like it.
My kind of guy.
Well,
Negotiate your
Fully
buyout,
endorsed
buddy.
by Stadium.
I like it.
Negotiate your buyout. You're going to be fired in a couple years.
I like how happy they was about this magical 5-win season. I like their vibes with Norvell. I like how they're 4 years in a row, no bowl. Everybody's country club vibes over there. I like it. Bring this guy in.
So I had a tweet out there today that I immediately wrote and then muted because I was at work and didn't have time. This makes Mike Norvell at best the 4th best coach in Florida, right?
Yeah, he's below Greg Knox.
So 5th.
Put some respect on Greg Knox's name.
Oh wait, Nick, y'all gotta put some respect on Greg Knox's name. Mike Norvell's terrible, man. He's at his ceiling. I don't foresee that getting any better. He got some recruits coming in this cycle, but not enough to change what they got going next year. I think they in jeopardy of not making another bowl game. 5 years in a row. Like, I don't know anybody that's doing it worse and like under the radar because they've been terrible.
Is your boy number 10 coming back?
Oh, I love him.
Oh, bro,
I
he's
hope
terrible.
so.
Ooh,
I want to apply for him some more as ability.
Can he be a freshman? I would like 4 more years of him, please.
Please, just verse
us. Let's see. Any other thoughts that we've got going on here? Any other topics of conversation? Boys, you got anything? If not, so you got to do the Manscaped and beard oil read.
Wait, are we you're going to be out of town?
Put my ball deodorant on my beard. I don't know.
Yeah, I will be out of town for the bowl game.
I'll be in town for the bowl game. Silk?
I'll be in Atlanta. It's like 23rd, right?
Yeah, 23rd.
Yeah, I'm going to see my brother, man. We're hanging out. My sister's coming up. My siblings, we're all getting together with the fam, the kids. We're going to hang out in the A a little bit up into New Year's. So all my Atlanta listeners, holla at me.
You stay with family when you're there?
Oh yeah, my brother just moved to Atlanta. He's a chief in the Coast Guard, so he's living there as a recruiter. So we all migrating there to check him out.
That's the one that I met at Social?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we out of here. That's it.
Well, Nick, if you need any restaurant recommendations, I got some.
Transport Portal. We talk Porter talk.
We did a little bit. Oh, we talked to Chris. So we didn't talk about it. So Chris Bogle, probably the biggest name to enter his name into the portal. Somebody else did too. I said Andrew Chatfield, but he's obviously already.
Gerald Mincy.
Gerald Mincy. Yep.
Summerall as well.
Oh, Lloyd Summerall. That's who I was confused with Andrew Chatfield. Lloyd Summerall. I was surprised about Mincy. Again, none of this is 100%. Locked in that they are transferring. I was a little bit surprised with Gerald Mincy because I thought that he definitely had a chance to play next year.
I don't know, man. I kind of get it. That offensive line coaching was a little toxic, man. Like maybe some bitter feelings. Like some people may just want to get the hell out of town. So it's just a bitter room, man. Just bitter vibes from the position coach there.
What about we haven't talked about this. What about Corey Bell? Do you think he's a guy that could be kept around? Great recruiter.
I like
South
Bell
Florida
for off the
ties.
field, keeping him around. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like Corey Bell. Just a guy that we got great relationships. And then I don't know who's their South Florida guy on their staff right now. So you do need to keep some South Florida guys on the off the field, try to figure out how that works out. Corey Bell is a guy that I would like to keep. Doesn't do all the drama on social media and all the antics, but could get work done. And also in a crunch, if you do lose a DB coach in the future, he's real solid on the field coach that got experience, man. And I think he should be on the field somewhere in the country.
Probably should have gotten the job over Jordan Jules if we're keeping it a buck.
Oh, already. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't even think – let me shut up. I had a good joke. I'm not going to do that.
You can type it in and I'll say it.
Silk found a conscience and Dan's like, nope, I'll do it.
Let's see. Chris Bogle, I think, would be a big loss, out of that list. Brenton Cox is coming back. I do like Chris Bogle.
I've heard really good things about Justice Boone, though. So if you're worried about like depth at that spot, like that's I guess he'd be a redshirt freshman next year. That could come. I
want to see. I think I've seen. I don't know how true this is, but I seen something from the message board. Somebody saying that it was said that Napier looked at or spoke to Bogle and said that he had to talk to him about like the portal and transferring or whatever.
Silk's over on the Gators Online message board. Thank you.
Not Twitter. No, just Twitter.
Come on, guys. Leave the stuff on the message board.
No, bro. No, you don't have to go anymore. Nick, this is the
$10.
future.
Hey, Silk.
I don't mind. I would pay the $10. I would pay the $10. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm telling you where I saw it. I was scrolling the timeline and somebody screenshot it. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool. What's going on here? So if that's true, I like Napier's he's a motivator. He tells like Dan said, he tells things and stories. He's a recruiter. He did his thing at Bama, so we're gonna see. He's also got to recruit guys like Jacob Copeland to maybe not go to the NFL, give it another shot. So he got some recruiting to do with the roster and in the portal and on the trail. So we'll see what's up.
All right, so let's get the Manscaped ad read and get on out of here.
Shout out to the great folks at manscaped.com. Do not go to them people looking for any beard oil. The oil that Nick is putting on his beard is for your balls. So that boy is walking around with ball oil on his beard. Be sure to use coupon code SG at checkout for 20% off. The Lawnmower 4.0 is great for any dude in your life or any dude, man. Take care of your balls, man. Get that Lawnmower 4.0. Use coupon code SG at checkout. You can use it in the shower. Got a nice little light. If you like to take a dim shower and shave in the shower with a dim light, it has a light. So you don't scuff anything, skim anything, razor proof, electrocute. You're not going to burn anything up. Coupon code SG at checkout. 20% off. Free shipping. Take care of your balls. I got the song, don't I?
You sure do.
So I can find a nice little jingle.
I tried to influence you.
Influence me. I seen you put something in the group chat. I didn't know what you was talking about. What'd you say?
I'm not gonna. I mean, it's out there. I'm not gonna steal your song.
Steal my song.
But there is a Jeezy song called "Scared Money." Lil Wayne on the track.
It doesn't. That's not a Silk type of song.
No, not at all. I don't know what he got going on here.
I'm on brand with the "Scared Money Don't Make Money." I'm tying it in. Professional podcast.
Speaking of which, visit the Stadium and Gale shop. We appreciate all of you that have bought the Scared Money Don't Make Money shirts. They are available. You can use promo code Napier and get to your 10 or 20% off. It's a great deal. Shirts will get to you if you live in the United States in 3 days. Even if you live in Australia and you order a hoodie, shout out to the Crawshaw family. They got their hoodie in 5 days. So we'll get it out, get it before the holidays. Check it out. Shirts are cheap. So use promo code Napier at checkout, get 10 or 20% off.
Yeah, I just ordered the Stadium and Gale, our new cursive script. I ordered that shirt, and I ordered the Workham Silly Stadium and Gale.
What shirt?
The new like script font that we have. Are you part of this podcast?
Yeah, for sure. You mean?
I ordered 2 shirts. Both of them came 3 days. Hand packaged
Incredible.
by Dan.
Great quality too, right?
Dan, you packaged them up?
Dan packages them up on his own. Every single order, he will leave you a little note in there. That's a lie.
Nice. I gotta get me some new drip. I didn't get any drip this year. I was too stressed out, bro. I didn't go to any games. Dan had me stressed out. I didn't enjoy football this year. Now I don't know how many seasons I got left, you know what I'm saying? But I count all of them. They're all special to me. So I need to at least have fun. Can't be having my coach quit on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the folks out with some Freddie Gibbs, man. One of my favorite artists all time. Insecurities. Just easy, chill vibes. A little Freddie Gibbs. Same corner, same time.
Same corner, same time. See you boys next week.
Here.
Yeah.
Scared money don't make money, you know?